Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Today I'm interviewing a couple from Maine who just took over the campground, which has been in their family for years. Workampers play a big role in serving guests at the campground and helping to ensure it runs smoothly. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. Do you have more questions and answers when it comes to the work camping and RVing lifestyle? If so, then Workamper News has your back. Listen to their free work camping Q&A videos to get your questions answered. Each video answers questions submitted by folks just like you who are learning about the RV lifestyle, just getting started, or who've been work camping for a while. The videos cover topics like what kind of work camping jobs are out there, what do those jobs pay, tips for writing a work camper resume, questions to ask an employer, what type of RV is best, how to get your mail as an RVer, and much more. Listen to detailed answers now by watching the videos at workamper.com/answers. In the description of each video, you'll find a list of questions that were answered so you can quickly jump to the answers you want to hear. Check out the free Work Camping Q&A videos to get your questions answered today. Sarah and Pip Bell are the new owners of Dixon's Campground, which is a small family-owned facility with 125 sites located near Cape Nettic, Maine. It's only about 12 miles from the New Hampshire border. Sarah's parents owned the campground for more than 25 years before retiring, so she and Pip just completed their first year at the helm of the business. Work campers play a big role at the campground because Sarah works full-time as a teacher and Pip works for a local HVAC company. This year they relied on 4 sets of work campers to help serve guests staying at the campground. Typically, work campers help inside the office by greeting guests and taking reservations. They also guide guests to their site, maintain the pool, and ensure restrooms are super clean. The season starts in early May and continues through early October. There is one catch. The campground sites can only accommodate RVers that are no longer than 36 feet. To tell us more about work camping at Dixon's Campground in southeastern Maine, please welcome the new owners, Sarah and Pip Bell, to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Sarah and Pip. I really appreciate the time. Tell us a little bit about Dixon's Campground and how old it is.
Dixon's is a small family campground located here in Cape Nettic, Maine, just north of the New Hampshire border, right on the seacoast.
Nice.
And my parents have owned the campground for 25 years, and Pip and I are transitioning to ownership this year for our first year. And we both worked at the campground a lot and kind of know how it all works, but making the big jump this year.
What did you do before you took over the campground?
We're still going to be doing our full-time jobs. Sarah's a teacher in the York School District, and I work for a plumbing and HVAC company.
Okay.
Local.
Very cool. So how many work campers do you typically hire every year?
We have in the past hired 3 sets of work campers, and this year we hired 4. Yep. So our campground serves about 125 sites, and we have 25 seasonals, and the rest are nightly reservations. We have water and electric sites. We have no utilities sites. We invite campers and RVers. We do have a limit of RV length, so we only host RVs that are no longer than 36 feet. It's a really unique campground. There's a lot of really different size sites that are nestled into the woods. Some are up in the fields by the pool area. But we usually hire 3 sets of work campers. We're hiring 4 sets this year, and we're really excited about it.
What kind of jobs do they typically do for you?
Typically, work campers, try and keep them paired teams, usually the husband and wife that we get. And we have one person working in the office, dealing with customers coming in, taking reservations, welcoming guests, get them familiar with the layout of the campground if they haven't stayed here before. We do have a lot of returning campers come back year after year. RVers, tenters, get a lot of sometimes having a patience with the language is a huge benefit because it can be a little bit hard to understand people. And then the person is working outside. They are getting RVers and tenters and stuff situated on their site, at their spot comfortably, making sure we don't have any traffic issues, crunch time. We have a pool that needs to be maintained daily and some bathhouses that we great pride in keeping super clean and up to snuff 24 hours a day.
You mentioned that you are hiring Workamper couples generally or pairs. Do you hire solos or would you consider families as well?
It depends on the situation. We're definitely open to families. We've had Workamper families in the past, and solos could work, but that would be something that we would generally call on later on in the hiring process, depending on candidates and what people wanted and what we had available.
Okay. So you'd encourage them to apply at least so that you could have that conversation?
Yeah.
Sure.
The door's always open.
Yeah. And I would say that the roles in terms of office and outdoor work don't necessarily always line up so that men work outside and women work inside. Sometimes it falls that way, but other times there's the people that like to be outside and working outside. Doesn't matter if they're a man or a woman. And same thing inside with the computers and reservations. We've had great people working in the office. We just love to make that clear too, that we're very flexible and open to that.
You had mentioned the RV size is limited. Does that apply to work campers as well? So if a work camper has a 40-foot rig, they would not work, should not even apply?
That's a good question. I would say that we would look to hire people who have 36 or smaller.
Okay.
That would be a plus for us in terms of the fit on the sites and all of that. But if it was a good set of work campers and they had a lot of experience and a great attitude and came with great recommendations, then we would consider it.
Okay. Are these opportunities year-round or seasonal? I'm assuming seasonal because Maine freezes, right?
Yeah, absolutely seasonal. Usually our work campers come at the beginning of May and help us get things going. We open in mid-May and then we run through the whole summer, and we usually close up for nightly campers at the end of September. And then we have our seasonals through Indigenous Peoples Weekend in October. We sometimes work campers will stay a little bit later than that too. And that's okay with us. As long as our bathrooms are open and our water lines are still running, usually we blow down the campground right around now. So most of our work campers have left through the season. They've all left for the season, but our last set left about a week ago. So we're pretty open to that flexibility.
How many hours a week are they typically putting in?
I would say we're looking between 20, 25, something like that. It's going to be a little different this year with the 4 sets of work campers. So we have some uncharted territory that we're going into, but I think it'll all work out because it just means we'll scale back the local help that we hire in the office and stuff.
Are these paid jobs?
Yes, they are. So typically we provide free site for the season, utilities and water and weekly pumping service are included. We do have a honey wagon if they need to pump their trailer or RV more than once a week that they can themselves. And we offer living wage.
Okay. So the minimum wage, whatever it is for Maine.
Yep.
Okay.
Typically.
That's a good deal. Especially it'll get paid to live in Maine for an entire summer. My goodness.
Yeah.
Are there any special traits or qualifications you're looking for in work campers?
I think the big thing for us is in terms of the position in the office is just being positive, kind, and welcoming to our campers, being hospitable. So those are really keeping an upbeat attitude and helping people get settled into the campground in a kind way. I think that's really the most important thing. The office position includes having some computer skills and knowing how to work with a reservation system and we use Firefly right now. and a new system to us last year. And I think we've got it down at this point, which is great. In terms of the outside, same thing, kind, hospitable. I think willing to work hard in terms of cleaning the bathrooms and having an eye for cleanliness. And there's some general groundskeeping and just helping to make the park look pristine and beautiful, which isn't hard to do, but does require some general just initiative. I think that's what we're looking for. Do you want to add anything, Pip?
Yeah, I think the last thing that I'd want to add is we are a small family campground. We're not a big corporate entity. We don't hire a ton of people. And work campers that we hire for the season they are an integral part to our campground. And if we lose someone right before the season starts or in the middle of the season, it really puts us, the campground, in a difficult situation. And it's really nice to know that we have a full seasonal commitment from whoever we're hiring and are confident in that commitment.
Would seem to me that you'd be looking for some self-starters as well, especially if you're both working full-time jobs while the season is underway.
Looking for people to take the reins, and you drive by a piece of trash in a golf cart, I would hope that you would slow down and be able to pick it up. And yeah, just looking, we're around, but not around all the time. Sarah has needed to be around more in the summertime, a teacher. So yeah.
Okay. Would it be helpful to have for somebody to have had previous campground management experience since you folks will be gone much of the time?
But I wouldn't say we'd be gone most of the time.
Okay.
I would say that I'm around a lot and Hip is around every day for sure. So we have a good pulse of what's going on in a day to day. And we work at the campground pretty much every day in the summer as well. So I would say in terms of managerial skills, not so much, but it never hurts to have, good people that know how to work collaboratively together and as a team. And that's always a good thing. So
I would agree with that. When do you typically begin recruiting work campers? August?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So mid-August, we started our interview process and we pretty much had everybody hired by mid-August, I would say.
Wow.
Beginning of September, we had everything pretty well wrapped up.
Yeah.
So all of the positions for 2025 are pretty well taken care of?
Yeah, we had two sets of work campers. We have one set of work campers that worked at the campground with Sarah's parents for the last 7 years or 8 years, and they're coming back again. They're like our go-to people, helps out in the office a lot. Bill's very familiar with the park. And then we have another set of work campers that were here this year that are going to be coming back next season as well. Been really fortunate in the past. Sarah's parents have been really fortunate in the past with having a number of work campers that we've had here come back 2, 3, 5 seasons
Wow.
In a row, which has been really nice and added a lot of continuity to the business.
A lot of times work campers will come and work for the summer in this area because their family is living in this area and they're retired and they're visiting their daughters or sons who have grown up and made a life here on the Maine coast. And so they're like, oh, I think I'll go to Maine for the summer and work at Dixon's. And we had one couple that was with us for so long. I can remember I was working cleaning bathrooms and mowing lawns at the campground. We used to run a small kayak company out of the campground when I was in college. And we had work campers that come back 5, 6 years in a row. And it was awesome. They became part of our family. So
I was going to say, it sounds like it'd be a very much family atmosphere if you've got work campers coming back many years in a row.
I think it says a lot for the campground too, and the job and just the general, just people that work here. So,
right?
Yeah.
You grew up at the campground. That makes sense.
So my parents bought the campground actually when I was in high school. So I was just graduating high school. My sister, who's 5 years younger than me, it was all through her high school. So that they had the campground. So we didn't really grow up with it, but it was part of our high school experience.
What's involved in the interviewing and hiring process?
Typically, it's an interview like this over the phone, question and answer. We give prospective work campers overview of what the campground looks like, what the daily operation looks like, and just ask them questions. They have the opportunity to ask us any questions. A lot of the things, like I said to you earlier, that we're discussing in this interview are the exact same questions and answers and stuff that we typically on an interview with a Workamper.
If I'm not mistaken, you said that you typically start looking for work campers in mid-August. People can submit applications all year long, but you will look at them in mid-August and hopefully have a decision made by the end of the month, it sounds like.
Yeah, I would say this year we were on it. Next year, hopefully we'll be right there this year. And Sarah's parents were a huge help this year, getting the ad, workamper.com, making sure we had the ball rolling. And yeah, it's strike while the iron's hot. We seem to get some great candidates right out of the gate that were chomping at the bit, looking to come to Maine. And we just jumped on those opportunities.
What can a work camper do to really stand out if he or she would like to have the job?
I think just willing to up for anything kind of attitude. And generally from the interview, you get a good sense of people's personalities, especially when it's a Zoom interview. And I think for me, it's more, how does the conversation go? Did it feel good when we were talking to them? Because you do, they become part of your family. You're working with them every day. And it's a tough process welcoming somebody into that and hoping that they're a good fit, because if they're not, then it's a bummer for everybody. So for me, it's that feeling of the interview. I don't know if there's a particular quality. I'm looking for kindness, really. Positive attitude, kindness, and a willing to work hard, really. I don't know, Pip, if you want to add.
No, I'm right there with Sarah.
Okay. I was looking on the map to see exactly where you folks are located. And that is an interesting area. There must be a lot of things for work campers to do when they're not working for you. Tell us what some of those might be.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. And if you like to go sit on the beach all day and enjoy the sun, we got that. If you want to go surfing, that. Some days are better than others when it comes to surfing around here. If you want to go enjoy nightlife, Kennebunkport or Gunquit or any of the other surrounding Portsmouth. Or Portland's only 45 minutes away. We got lots of restaurants with an hour or less of us.
And there's the White Mountains. The White Mountains are not far where we are. Really, an hour and a half to so many amazing hikes. And Maine itself, as a state, just has so much to explore. Acadia National Park, that's about 2.5 hours more.
Oh, 4 hours from us.
How far is Boston?
Boston's about an hour and 15 minutes.
That's always a fun place to visit. Can they hop on ferries and take trips out to Nova Scotia and things like that from your area?
Yep. So that would be ferry up to Nova Scotia is from Bar Harbor. So that's about a 4-hour ride up there from us. And then you jump on the ferry.
There's also a ferry out of Portland, which is an hour north of us, that just explores Casco Bay, which is really beautiful. It doesn't take you all the way to Nova Scotia, but Maine is, the whole coastline has islands to explore. And in terms of boating, kayaking, paddleboarding, it's really the place to be.
Where can people get more information about this opportunity or about the campground?
Our campground website, I feel like, is pretty comprehensive and gives you a good overview of what campground is like. And then online reviews of the campground are a place to start. We have some really positive feedback from all of our customers.
Our website is www.dixonscampground.com.
Very good. I appreciate the time and wish you the best of luck in the future.
No, thank you so much.
Thanks
It was
so
great
much,
to
Greg.
meet you.
I had fun talking with Sarah and Pip Bell, the new owners of Dixon's Campground near Cape Nettic, Maine. Their enthusiasm is contagious. Work campers generally work between 20 and 25 hours per week. All hours are paid at Maine's minimum wage, which is currently $14.65 per hour. However, work campers also receive a free RV site with water and electricity. The campground maintains its own honey wagon service, which pumps tanks for guests once a week. However, work campers can use the wagon to pump out their own tanks more often if necessary. Other than having some computer skills to manage reservations, there really are no special traits or qualifications needed to work at Dixon's Campground. Sarah and Pip like to employ work campers who have upbeat attitudes and a general willingness to help. It helps if work campers also have an eye for detail when it comes to cleanliness and landscaping. Typically, the campground starts looking for work campers in the middle of August and has commitments wrapped up for next year by mid-September. Because the campground is rather small, work campers really need to honor their commitments because no-shows and early departures can create a real bind for Sarah and Pip. The campground is right off Highway 1, but close enough to ocean activities like surfing and just enjoying the beach. There's plenty of nightlife available in communities like Kennebunkport or Portsmouth, which are both less than 25 minutes away. For people who like to hike, the White Mountains of New Hampshire are about 2 hours away, and Acadia National Park is a 4-hour drive. History buffs can head to Boston, which is about 90 minutes away. The entire eastern seaboard is a fascinating place with quaint little villages and many historical sites, especially for events related to the Revolutionary War era. For more information, check out the website at dixonscampground.com, where people can get a good overview of the campground and its amenities. The bottom of the page provides contact information for emailing a resume or for calling Sarah and Pip. Today's episode is sponsored by Workamper News. Creating a resume can be a cumbersome and intimidating task, especially if you haven't written one in many years. The unique Workamper News Resume Builder takes you through a step-by-step process to build a complete resume with all the information Workamper employers are looking for when reviewing applications. Once complete, your resume can be emailed to anyone, and the software tracks when and who you have sent it to. You can print out the resume or make it into a PDF, which can then be uploaded and emailed to others. Some employers never advertise, not on Workamper.com or anywhere else. They find all their applicants by searching the Workamper News Resume Database. If you don't have a resume in the Workamper.com database, you'll be missing out on some opportunities. To open the door to more work-camping jobs, become a Workamper member today by visiting www.workamper.com. That's all I have for this week's show. Next time I'll be speaking with a work-camping couple about their adventures. Tune in next week for another fun episode of The Workamper Show. Thanks for listening.